Since the year 2000, only 5 quarterbacks that have played college ball at the University of Alabama have been drafted to the NFL. While Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts are in the beginning of their NFL journey, the careers of Brodie Croyle, A.J. McCarron, and Greg McElroy have not been very promising. The 3 former Bama quarterbacks have a combined 2-13 win-loss record, with a touchdown to interception ratio of 15 touchdowns to 13 picks in the NFL. Flash forward to 2021. Mac Jones is the newest Crimson Tide quarterback looking to be the next franchise centerpiece in this year's NFL draft. Today, we're going to take a look at Mac Jones' college film and determine if he has what it takes to break the Alabama quarterback curse. Before we break down Mac Jones, if at any point you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I've already posted scouting reports on high-rising BYU quarterback Zach Wilson and potential top 10 draft pick Trey Lance. If you want to check those videos out, they'll be in the description below or the notification above. Thanks again, and let's dive into some film. First, let's talk about some of Mac Jones' strengths. For starters, his college stats were unbelievable. In 2020, he completed 77.4% of his passes. This is an NCAA record. He beat out Colt McCoy from 2008, and he beat Joe Burrow, who had the historic season last year. Jones also passed for 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions. Another strength is Mac Jones knows where to go with the football, and he also might be the best decision maker out of all the quarterbacks in this draft. Another one of Jones' strengths is his accuracy. His short to medium range accuracy might be the best in the draft as well. And one of my favorite things about Mac Jones isn't even on the field, it's off the field. I think he's incredibly smart. Last year he stepped in for Tua and was great. Got the starting job this year and turned his great into completely elite, top of the line. Now let's talk about some of Mac Jones' weaknesses. Number 1, Mac Jones isn't a natural thrower. I still think he's a very talented quarterback, of course he is. But when you compare him to other quarterbacks, he seems less natural. And what I mean by that is, it seems like he has to put in a lot of effort to complete passes, to get the ball downfield. Where a lot of these other quarterbacks, they have just a natural, strong, quick release arm that they're able to make platform throws, big throws downfield, where Mac Jones needs a big setup. He has to put a lot of effort in to complete these deep passes, downfield shots. Mac Jones' next weakness is his arm strength leaves something to be desired. And now when I say this, I'm not saying Mac Jones' arm is terrible, that it sucks, but compared to the other quarterbacks in this draft, his arm just doesn't really pop. It doesn't wow you on the screen. Of course, he has the ability to drop back and fire a ball in there, but you just didn't see it as common with the other quarterbacks in this class so far. The third weakness I have for Mac Jones is his footwork and mechanics need tightening just a little bit. I think his footwork is pretty solid. I think he really doesn't get crazy with his footwork. His feet follow his eyes, which I think is really important in quarterbacks. When he gets off schedule, he can replant his feet and, deliver a ball downfield. My issue with his mechanics is sometimes he leans too forward or he's on his front foot too much, which I think is why his arm doesn't pop, because sometimes he gets killed by his poor mechanics. And lastly, he isn't very mobile. It's obvious, you can see it on film. He isn't going to be a guy that can run around a lot. He's not a complete statue where he's screwed if a blitzer's coming, but rarely do you see him make a ton of, escape plays, running around. He's okay in the pocket. He has pocket mobility, but this isn't a guy that you can call, read options for consistently or anything like that. So first, let's focus on how Mac Jones knows where to go with the ball. Here, he's going to immediately drop back and look to the left. He's not going to see anyone open, so his feet are going to follow his eyes to the right sideline and find Devontae Smith on the right sideline on a comeback route. Just look how easy it is for him to read a defense. He looks left, doesn't panic, looks middle then right. On this play here, it's going to look like Devonta Smith just simply beats a defender, nothing new, and gets a walk-in touchdown. But there's just a lot more to it than that. The most important route on this play isn't the one that Devonta Smith ran. It's the crossing route by John Mechie and the flat route by Jalen Waddle. So let's look at what the defense is doing. The safety on the right is responsible for the 5-yard line to the back of the end zone. Then the left safety is responsible for the same. They're each going to split the field in half. So the right safety is going to get the middle of the field all the way to the right pylon. Left safety is going to get middle of the field to the left pylon. Then both corners are lined up man on man with both receivers. They're going to follow the receivers no matter where they go. Right away, Mac Jones is going to look at Jalen Waddle in the flat. When Mac Jones looks at Jalen Waddle in the flat, he causes a chain reaction. 1. The defender that's guarding Devonta Smith thinks that Smith is blocking. So he immediately panics and thinks, oh my god, Jalen Waddle is wide open in the flat. There is not a defender around him. I need to leave Devonta Smith and go after Jalen Waddle. Now number 2, Mac Jones looks away from Jalen Waddle in the flat and looks middle of the field. Now number 3, now this freezes the middle linebacker in the middle of the field. The middle linebacker had an opportunity to go after Jalen Waddle, but now that Mac Jones looked away and looks middle, that freezes the middle linebacker. John Mechie's going to come over there with a crossing route, and then number 4. The safety also sees Mac Jones looking middle of the field, so instead of guarding the end zone like he's supposed to, which is where the black X is, he crashes down and goes after John Mechie on the crossing route. Because Mac Jones made 3 simple reads, first to the flat, then to John Mechie over the middle, then found Devonta Smith in the back of the end zone, he managed to freeze the middle linebacker and the safety, which causes Devonta Smith to be wide open because the safety crashed middle. Now the safety can't get back and help on Devonta Smith being wide open in the end zone. He can't cover his original zone. And the beauty in this play is that if Devonta Smith wasn't open, say the corner that was guarding him the whole time played great coverage, that still means that Mac Jones needs to make one more read down to Jalen Waddle again, who's still wide open and can make guys miss and maybe potentially score a touchdown. It's a great job by Mac Jones freezing the defense. Now let's focus on Mac Jones' accuracy. On this play here, it's a simple play action slant. He's going to come off the play action, turn and rip it. And look where the ball's placed. Out in front of the receiver to where if he catches this ball cleanly, he might be able to make some moves. He bobbles it and gets hit, but still placed in a great spot. On this play here against Notre Dame, Mac Jones is going to roll out of the pocket, and like I said earlier, doesn't have the biggest arm, but does it matter when you can place the ball exactly where you want it? I mean, look at where this ball's placed. It's outside to where only Devonta Smith can get it, on the outside by the pylon, out of bounds to where Smith has a toe drag. I mean, this is just a perfect throw. You can't place it any better than this. Here's another good throw from Mac Jones. He's going to look left and find his tight end one-on-one and throw it up and back shoulder. It's a great location. Here's another great back shoulder. Najee Harris is going to come out of the backfield, and Mac Jones is just going to lay it up high and outside to where only Najee Harris can get it. It's another great throw, especially to a running back. Great skills from Harris. This is one of my favorite throws from Mac Jones. Sure, once again, he doesn't have the biggest arm, but on this throw, he doesn't need it. What he needs is touch, and that's what he has. Look at the throw. It gets over the underneath defender, and it's outside placed perfectly for Jalen Waddle. It's such a great throw. Here's another great touch pass from Mac Jones. I mean, he's just going to find the receiver in the back of the end zone wide open. But the fact that Jones has the ability to let this ball it doesn't hang in the air. That's what amazes me so much, is you can tell he puts a ton of loft on the ball, but it doesn't just hang there. You know, a lot of quarterbacks I think would have tried to, bullet this one in or try to hit him in the back pylon. Jones just easily flicks it in the back end zone and lets the receiver run under it. It's just a great throw. And here's the last play showing off Mac Jones' accuracy. Mac Jones is just going to drop back, and he's just going to throw one up high to where only Devonta Smith can get it. He sees that the corner has his back turned to him and can't make a play on the ball. So he throws it high up top to where only Devonta Smith can get it. It's a great throw in a tight area in the red zone. Alright, so now let's talk about some of Mac Jones' weaknesses. For starters, it has to be his arm strength. That's the biggest knock that I have for Mac Jones. What you see on screen right now is my arm strength scale of current NFL quarterbacks. For me, Mac Jones fits in right between 5 and 7. I don't think he has as strong as an arm as Ryan Tannehill does, but I think it is a little bit stronger than Matt Ryan's. On this play here, you're going to see Mac Jones come off a play action, and he's going to throw the ball about 50 yards, but the ball hangs in the air. He can't lead the receiver far enough in the end zone for this to be a touchdown, when it should have been a touchdown. I mean, he had a step on him, as you'll see here. He has a couple steps to where if this ball was thrown deeper in the end zone or led a little bit more, Mechie could have ran under it for a touchdown. But instead, he has to come back to the ball and get trapped between the corner and the safety. Here's another underthrown deep shot. Mac Jones is going to come off a play action, and he's going to have Jalen Waddle on the deep cross wide open. But Mac Jones underthrows it to where Jalen Waddle has to make a great catch against the defender. If Jones can put some air into this ball and lead Waddle, this is easily a touchdown. With Waddle's speed, he's going to beat the corner and the safety for a long touchdown. Now, I don't want to sell it like Mac Jones can't throw downfield at all and he always underthrows receivers, because that's not true. I mean, look at this pass here. I mean, he hits the guy right in stride for a long touchdown, and then you're going to see another play shortly where he hits him right over the shoulder, puts it on a pretty good line too, to where it's probably one of the strongest throws I've seen him make. So he doesn't always disappoint me, but this is just one of the areas where I could see him struggling is downfield passing consistently. Here's a throw showing off his arm strength when his footwork is really good. This ball, I felt like he drove through it and really followed through on the pass. And look at the throw. It was over the middle in a tight window and had a lot of velocity on it. It wasn't a complete fastball, but it wasn't his usual, changeup. It was a good hard pass. This play is a perfect example of where Mac Jones can get in trouble. Mac Jones' arm isn't huge, so what does he have to do? He has to rely on him being able to read the field, knowing where the ball goes, and get the ball out early. Here's a play where he doesn't read the field fast enough and finds Devontae Smith late. He doesn't have enough arm strength to zip it in there, which causes Devontae Smith to go high and outside. The ball just carries him out of bounds, where I think a lot of other quarterbacks in the class had enough, big enough arm to wing it in there and maybe let him toe touch or, drag his feet. Instead, Mac Jones's, lack of arm strength carries him out of bounds. And quickly, I just want to mention Mac Jones's footwork. Now, there's plays like this where I feel like on this pass, he doesn't follow through. He kind of fades away and doesn't, step into the throw completely. And you see where the ball landed. Of course, it was a completion, but it took a while to get out there and it kind of floated out there. If he drove through this pass, it would have got to the running back a lot quicker. And here's another bad footwork pass. In the red zone, Mac Jones is going to fake some pressure and he's going to fade on the throw. Look at how he bails out after he throws it. The pass, luckily for him, falls incomplete as there was holding on the play. But in the NFL, you don't get lucky with fadeaway bailout throws. Now, let's quickly talk about Mac Jones' athleticism. To say it nicely, Mac Jones isn't in the best shape.
That's a thick-ass boy! Damn!
On this play here, Mac Jones is going to look downfield, not see anybody, and take off left. He isn't super slow, but that slide, I thought he just blew out his knee, so he took a little gallop and then a trip. On this play here, it'll show you Mac Jones isn't completely helpless when running. I mean, he actually makes a defender miss and falls for, he's short of the first down, but near a first down. I mean, that's a little bit of athleticism. He's not a complete statue where he can't move at all. But mostly, you get plays like this, where he has nowhere to go, and of course they're up a bunch of points so he just falls down to be safe, but, he's not making anything out of that play. With the NFL draft about a month away, Mac Jones is looking to be a top 10 pick in the first round. There's a lot of speculation going around that the San Francisco 49ers are in love with Mac Jones, and everyone's falling on Justin Fields, and Mac Jones is going to be this next quarterback, and I think Mac Jones is really great. And I would like to see him with the 49ers, because what they need is a distributor. They need someone who can get the ball out on time, get the ball out to their playmakers on screens, short routes, not anything super downfield where they don't have a dominant receiver. George Kittle's their dominant receiver. So I think Mac Jones is a good fit there. Ideally, Mac Jones needs to get drafted to a team with some pretty good weapons or a good scheme to fit his strengths. You can't put him on a downfield passing team where they want to bomb it out, go deep and throw to deep weapons. It's just not going to work for Mac Jones. Mac Jones needs to be with Bill Belichick. He needs to be with Kyle Shanahan, especially Kyle Shanahan, who coached, Matt Ryan for years, Matt Shaw back in the day, Kirk Cousins for a year in Washington. A lot of stable, not super mobile guys, pocket passers, not with the best arms in the world. That'd be a great combination. I just hope that Mac Jones gets drafted to the right team and has the ability to play right away, because I think he's one of the few quarterbacks in this draft class that's actually NFL ready. I'm excited to see what Mac Jones can do in 2021. If you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you want to check out the other scouting reports I did on Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, they'll be in the description below or the notification above. If you liked the video, leave a like below and subscribe to the channel, as I'll bring more quarterback scouting reports to the channel. I want to thank you guys again so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time.